What's up, guys? It's the Prophet here. We have a new game tonight. We have the Doomed Earth 2. So what I'm going to be doing is showing off a basic land tutorial for this. It's going to follow very similar to my other series about World War I, where I'm just going to talk about the various aspects of this game. And for Doomed Earth 2, there is so much to go over. It's just insanely complex game. So we're going to go over the very basic combat here, and their kind of roles each of these units function with. So the tank squadron to start is just a mobile, high damage unit, great for being just faster than your opponents, doing damage, going back and forth. Pretty good. This little anti-air company guy, he shoots the air, very good at that, a lot of range, great for early game engagements. Anti-tank, really good against this guy, does a great job, very cost effective. This anti-infantry guy will mow all these people down, but they're very weak to this tank. And we have this little infantry guy. It's kind of the staple unit, cheap, easy to make, get these for free almost, not bad. We got the flamethrower company here. This thing just mows down structures. So you're going to take my word about all this. Just trust me. Just remember that. Remember each of the roles I just gave. Alright, you see all that, this one flamethrower doing all the damage to that building. First this like one marine, which really just tickles it. Marauder is alright, but flamethrower is best. Anyway, so what we're going to be showing off is a early game composition that you're going to want to be getting. You're going to want some anti-infantry, tons of these boys. And also, as soon as you can, at the start of the game, you're going to want to switch to something called Police State. And you're going to want to make 5 barracks, because that will give you free Marines every minute that will spawn out of these barracks. So, we're going to show you the best early game composition. So you're going to want a ton of anti-infantry companies. You're going to want to get the advanced infantry and combined arms. And you're going to get these upgrades as soon as possible. But we'll hold off on that for now. And you also want to get riot suppression training, because this extremely buffs your units against other infantry, which is the staple unit at the start of the game. So yeah, you're going to be making tons of anti-infantry. And let's say, for example, your enemy's composition was mainly tanks. You'd make these anti-armor guys, so on and so forth. You kind of adjust to what your opponent's doing, but generally you're going to want to just be making these guys at the start. Okay, so we're just going to make a bunch of these. We got combined arms. So what that does is this makes your infantry move a lot quicker when it's by a mechanical unit. Alright, so we're also getting free Marines every minute from these barracks because of the police state. And there's also 10% attack speed buff. Things are going great. And so we're going to show off an early game combat situation. So we have a ton of anti-infantry. And let's see how you got. It's quite a bit. So he appears to have a larger army, but I'm very confident that this army will win. All right, Craven, you ready to fight? Craven. All right, cool. All right, I'm gonna ally you, and we're gonna see how this goes. So remember, he has more units, but these units are kind of the hard counter to what he has. So this is a really terrible choke for me as well. But we should still be able to win, just because these units are just better. Like, each of these anti-infantry gunners just have a boatload more kills. Like 10, like 5, like the 5 kill average. And they just do amazing. They are perfect. So what's going to happen is you're going to mainly be getting these upgrades constantly, tactical training. You're going to want to get something called a bio center, where it's called like a biological research center, where you get more infantry upgrades, you kind of make them stronger. You get that from a advanced builder. But what's going to happen eventually is infantry starts to gradually fall off as mechanical units get stronger and stronger. So what you're going to want to do at that point is you're going to want to mix some artillery into your kind of main composition. You still want to base your stuff on infantry just because of how cheap it is, but you're going to gradually phase that out. So you're gonna make tons of factories. You're gonna hotkey all your buildings. And you're just going to get ready to kind of update where you're at. So where you're going to want, like I said, constant upgrades. Maybe you want to make these futuristic buildings like the prototype weapons lab or the top secret research lab where you get shields, lasers, all a bunch of good stuff to buff your units. But the main mech army, the main like mechanical army they're going to be switching into is just mobile artillery and gradually into heavy tanks. This will be the main composition you'll use until maybe like the extreme late game, which I may go over in another situation some other time. Okay, what are you doing? Oh, I'm attacking you. No. Not want to kill you. So you're going to be making these artillery, and you're going to get this biological research center. So there's a lot of really good stuff here. So the function of the artillery is just to do a ton of splash damage versus other infantry, and it also has an ability, if you get it from the biological research center, which will slow your enemies on like every single attack you do, and it's extremely effective. So we're just gonna demonstrate that. We can research this. 1 second. Craig, can you okay, I'm just gonna show off the artillery here. Here, Craig, make some marines, like a big ball of marines, just so we can showcase the kind of splash damage and the effectiveness it would have if you say mix it into your marine army ball. Because like a few of these guys, instead of let's say an extra like 60 marines, is just massive. Like there's so much like effect that's there. So you're gonna get something called chemical rounds. Yeah, it's gonna slow them down. It's gonna slow units they hit down. It's also gonna reduce their armor and just do all around more damage. Okay, so we're gonna do a fight in a second, and once he's ready. Craven, make sure to get combined arms. Just make sure you guys are zoomy. And what we're going to show after that is the final late game composition I talked about, and just how durable it really is. The kind of like inevitability of it, where if you don't switch, you're just gonna fall off and die. All right, Craven, are you ready? Do you have your combined arms? Are we all good? Okay, 20 seconds. Okay, so like I said, this like around mid game, you're gonna want to be incorporating artillery into your main infantry balls. It's not really worth it to get like the next upgrade if you can add like an extra 10 artillery into your divisions, just because of these splash damage, just how effective it really is. All right, let's engage my army. Okay, that's a bit of a like a significantly larger army than this one. Maybe you can like half that a little bit. Oh my god. Anyway, yeah, there definitely be a higher food count of units guarding, but yeah, even being like vastly outnumbered, just because of the way we built our army, we're gonna do significant damage. Like each of these mobile artillery maybe only get like 4 kills each or whatever, but they are softening up every single unit like around them, each shot they take. So say you shoot one marine, like a ball of like 20, each of those marines get damaged, and each of these units afterwards have an easier time taking them out. So at the very end, or let's say around the 30-40 minute mark, you're going to want to be incorporating heavy tank squadrons and nothing but mobile artillery in, because mobile artillery are really good kiting units, and the heavy duty tanks are there to tank for these artillery. They're extremely effective. Like I said, you're going to be constantly getting these improved weapons. You're going to be getting shields from the top secret research center. So just constant upgrades and switching into this final like late game composition. And at this point, you probably want to switch out police state once you get to a large mechish army, probably around like 20 minutes in. And you're going to want to switch into generally dictatorship, democracy, or another government type that I may go over a different video. But those are the main types of governments that you want to go. All right, Craven, do you have like one more army that we can show this off of? Just to show the durability. I mean, you can still mix some anti-infantry into these armies in case you're fighting a very infantry army, very heavy infantry ball. But yeah, like these heavy tanks will not take a single bit of damage versus these like low tech units. You need high tech heavy tanks yourself to deal with this. But yeah, anyway, so that's kind of just the basics of combat and Doomed Earth. I hope I properly explained it. If you've got any questions, you can leave a comment. This is a new game we are delving into, and I hope you guys enjoy. Have a good one.